So I'm going to get one of my large stones from the heater. I'm using one of my gloves which has got a thermal lining. And then I'm going to use my slotted spoon to help me get the stones out. So we're going to place it onto the towel just to absorb some of the moisture from it. And we're going to place this one on the chakra at the base of the spine. So when we're placing stones, we place them on top of a towel, so they're not directly on the skin, otherwise it would be too hot for the client. So I'm going to place that on here, and then just with one hand over the stone, one hand on the midsection of the back, we're going to gently rock. And we're going to ask the client to visualise the rainbow going through the body and through the chakras. Okay, now I'm going to get 6 medium and small stones out from the heater. So if you're comfortable with using just your slotted spoon and not immersing your hand in the water, then that's absolutely fine. Sometimes it can slow things down a little bit, putting the glove on and off, but you have to do what's safe and comfortable for you. So I've got 2 medium, and then the rest are going to be the smaller size. So we're just going to take off the excess moisture, and we're going to place these onto the bed. So I'm going to uncover the back, and we're placing the stones around the bed, but so they're not touching the body. And this stone is being kept warm by the towel. So I've got my oil, which I'm going to warm up in my hands before I apply to the body. And then introduce the back of your hands and gently apply the oil, making sure you've covered the whole of the area of the back, into the neck and into the top of the arms. Okay, and then we're ready to start our massage. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit more oil so that I can apply a little bit of oil to each of the stones. So just give them a quick turn in your hand with the oil. And then we're going to start with effleurage. So with every area we start with the hands on their own, using our effleurage technique as normal. And then we will introduce the stones. Now I'm going to come to the head of the bed and use my first set of stones. So pick them up in your hand, don't break contact with the body, and then just introduce them onto the back of the arms. And how's the heat there?
Yeah, it's nice.
And then we can take them up onto the back. So you can work all over. And then we're going to concentrate on the trapezius area, onto the shoulders and the neck. So let the hands sit in the palm of your hand and cup them so that they move as your hands move. You can add pressure . Work into any tension. And just glide the stones into the area to help break down tension in the muscle. You also need to flip the stones in your hand so they use the heat from both sides. So just turn them over gently and then continue to use the stones until you've used all of the heat. Once the stones have cooled down, you can place them on the bed, remembering not to break contact with your hands. And then we're going to pick up another stone to work around the trapezius and the scapula. So first we can use the stone flat to introduce some heat to the area. And you can use your other hand to just check for areas of tension and where there may be some nodules that you're going to work into. We can then turn the stone onto its side, so we're working in deeper around the scapular area. And then you can circle. So just like you would be doing your thumb frictions around the area, so we're circling the stone in. And if you have got any nodules that are hard to reduce down, we can do a technique known as tapping. So you can place your stone flat on the area, and using one of your cold stones you've already used, you're going to tap the stone. And this will help create vibrations down into the muscle to help break down the tense area and any waste product in the area. Once you've worked one side, we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Use the stone flat first of all to bring some heat into the muscle. And we'll take it in a bit deeper by using the stone on its side. And then we're going to circle. So again, I've got some congestion here, so I'm going to do some tapping. And then we'll finish off by using the last of the heat in the stone. Okay, our last two stones we're going to use and concentrate onto the lower part of the back. So by turning the stones in your hand as you pick them up, you're covering them with the oil so they'll slide easily over the skin. So I'm going to use these on the lower area of the back first of all. So again, cup them in your hand. Don't feel you have to hold the stones, the hold will slide, the stones will slide in your hands as you work around. You don't have to grip them. And you can take the stones all over. Again, use both sides. And when you've used all of the heat from the stones, just place them down, keep in contact with the body, and finish off with your effleurage. And then we'll finish by stroking along the spine. Okay, I'm going to cover up the back. And I'll remove the stones from around the bed. Okay, I'm now going to place the chakra stones on the back of the spine. So we have our stone that we've already placed here, and the rest we place on top of the towel so that we're not bringing on too much heat onto the skin, we're not burning the client. So I'm going to place 4 more stones either side of the spine, and this is to keep the back nice and warm while we massage the legs. An optional part of this as well is to include your chakra crystals. So if you're wanting to do that at this point, we're going to use the 4 lower crystals. So we've got a red, which is for our root chakra. So you can place the crystals either on the stone or next to it, wherever it's going to balance. Then we have our orange for the sacral. So I'm just going to place that in between the 2 stones. We have yellow for the solar plexus, and then our green for the heart. So again, that's going to be placed between the 2 stones. And then I'm going to cover those with a towel to keep the heat nice and warm in the back. Now we're going to move on to the legs, and I'm going to remove 4 more stones from the heater. Okay, we're going to uncover the leg and place the stones onto the bed so that it's not touching the body. So I've got medium-sized stones to massage the thigh, and I've got smaller stones to massage into the lower leg. So I'm placing them either side, where they're easy to get to, and then I'm going to apply my oil and I'm going to take the oil down onto the sole of the foot as well. So we start off with our effleurage with just our hands. And as we do this, we can sweep a hand over the stone just to apply some heat to the hand and introduce the heat to the body. Always keep one hand connected when you do this. Okay, then I'm going to pick up one stone at a time, give it a turn in your hand to apply the oil, and then introduce the heat. How does that feel?
Nice.
So always check the temperature first. So again, just cup the stone in your hand. And just work over to bring the heat into the muscle. And remember to turn the stones over once you've used one side. So we can use the heat on both sides of the stones. Once the heat's been used, you can place the stones down onto the bed, keeping contact with the body at all times. And then we're going to work down onto the lower leg. So again, pick up the stones one at a time, keeping contact with the body. Just apply some oil over the stones and work over the lower leg. You've used this heat from one side. We're then going to use the other side of the stone over the sole of the foot. And then you'll place the stones onto the bed and finish off with your effleurage. So I'm going to remove the stones away from the bed. If there's any heat left in them, you can leave them tucked in. So I'm going to leave the ones by the knee, and then we're going to cover up the leg. And then we're going to repeat the same process on the other leg. So I've got 4 more stones from my water heater. And again, I'm going to place these around the leg without touching the body. Okay, so we're going to start with our effleurage. Now normally you would do this from the other side of the bed because obviously your posture is very important. But for filming purposes, I'm working from this side of the bed today. So we're going to pick up 2 of the stones, and again we're going to work on the top of the leg. So remember to turn your stones halfway through so that you're using the heat from the other side as well. And I'm going to leave those tucked either side of the knee. I'm going to come down to the lower leg. Again, I'm going to use the heat from the other side of the stones to then work over the sole of the foot. Once the heat's gone, we're then going to finish off with effleurage. So again, I'm going to leave the stones tucked in either side of the knee. I'm going to remove the other two, and I'm going to cover up the leg. Okay, before we turn our client over, we then need to remove the stones that we've placed on and around the body. So firstly, I'm going to take the ones that are tucked in either side of the knee, on each leg. Then we're going to remove the stones that have been placed on the back. So we're going to start from the top, working down. And then remove the crystals. And then we're going to remove the last stone at the base of the spine. And we're now going to take the support from underneath the feet . Okay. We're also going to do the bra strap back up. Okay, make sure the bottom towel is untucked from the underwear, and then we're going to fold up the towel again in order to turn our client over. So bring it up to around about the knees, and then you want the join of the towel and the towels at the top, and this time your client is going to turn around towards me. Okay, so I'm going to put the knee roll under her knees to support the spine. Okay, and bring this towel back down, cover the feet. Alright, and then we're going to put the headdress back, like so. I'm going to bring your hair out the way actually. There we go. Alright. Is that comfortable? Yeah. Good.